Today I'm going to tell you why I think that the Feijoa is the most promising new and exotic fruit for the European continent. And that has to do, of course, with its very, very special flavor and aromatics. It's in the guava family, and guavas are tropical fruits. And this is a cousin of the guava that is from South America. It's from Argentina, Uruguay and the southern part of Brazil originally. The winters in the southern part of America can also bring some frost and snow. And so this plant has evolved in a place where it can tolerate frost up until -9, -10 degrees centigrade, which on the coast of continental Europe is sufficient to live here outside and to flower and fruit. Not all the varieties that I tried and tested manage to flower and fruit in the short season that we have relative to tropical South America, but a good number of them manage to flower and produce fruit. The fruit can be bigger than this. That really depends on how much it rains during the year, and especially how much it rains in the autumn, because somehow the fruit sets in the beginning of summer. It flowers very late in May, beginning of June, and then the fruit set and it stays very, very small on the tree, something like this size or even smaller during the summer. And then actually when the autumn rains come, then suddenly the fruits swell up, and then if you can give it enough water for 2 months, then the fruits can be double this size actually. The plants, they take about 6 to 8 years to fruit when you grow them from seeds, but when you buy them like as a small tree and you plant them in your orchard, they should start fruiting within 2 to 3 years. The pollination of the fruit is still a little bit of a mystery. So it is absolutely true that the fruit gets bigger and that you get more fruit set if you have several different varieties at the same time. Most of the varieties that exist have been developed in New Zealand over the last 50 years. And those are the ones that are commercially available in Europe. I started collecting a couple of those, and then I collected a lot of seeds from different parts of the world. So from Uruguay, from southern Brazil, from Colombia, from France actually, where the plant has been introduced 100 years ago. And so I got these different populations of Feijoa selections. I sowed a lot of seeds of them, and then for 10 years I've been looking for the trees that actually give good fruit on a regular basis and also of good size. So this is my favorite one. It's ripening now, and let me see if I can taste one right away and show you the inside of the fruit. So this is what a fresh Feijoa is supposed to look like on the inside. It's got this beautiful pattern. The texture is a little bit like banana. That's delicious, but that's really delicious. The flavor is sweet and sour with a lot of tropical and aromatic notes to it. So it's a very intriguing flavor, and you can just eat hundreds of these. Of the better ones, of course. There's still a lot of work to do before we can grow Feijoas commercially in a reliable way. One of the things to work on is to find out how you can harvest the fruit and how you can tell when it's ripe. The thing is that, as you can see, the fruits, they remain green on the tree, which is excellent because the birds won't touch them, insects won't touch them. Here the tree doesn't get any diseases, so it's a very good fruit to grow also in an organic way and in a nature-friendly or regenerative way, because the tree is very robust of itself. The fruit doesn't get picked or eaten by any predators, and when it's ripe it just drops off the tree. And so you sort of commercially you would put a net under the tree and collect the fruits that are fallen in the net. But if you grow it in your own garden, you can of course collect the fruits from the ground. If it has bad pollination, the fruits stay smaller, but if you have a couple of varieties, which I have here, close to each other, they very quickly pollinate each other, either by insects or by wind, or maybe even by birds, as some say, which I haven't seen here. But then the fruit gets larger and then you get a good fruit set. We're still selecting for the trees that give the most reliable fruit set and the biggest fruits of the best flavor. I've selected a couple of selections myself, which are more reliable and earlier than most of those New Zealand varieties, and they give bigger fruit in my conditions, and so they're more interesting trees to grow here. I'm still making crosses, I'm still selecting new varieties, and I also offer the seeds of most of these selections that I have on my website. I don't particularly offer seeds of crosses because I use them myself, but if you get seeds of a specific variety that I offer on my website, you at least know the mother plant, and then you know that it's been pollinated by all the other varieties that I have. I've selected a couple of varieties with large fruit that I'm trying out in Europe and in the Netherlands. And if there's any other farmers that are interested to try out a couple of trees and see if this works for them, that's always possible to arrange. Super good.